Alright, welcome back to another video, and this one will be a true unboxing as I have this figure in front of you that I have not opened. Um, it's still sealed, all the stickers and all that stuff. Um, so we will be exploring this together. And of course, this is Hot Toys Bane 2.0 from The Dark Knight Rises. So I I was a previous owner of the Bane, the first one that came out, and there were, while that figure looked good overall, it did have the arms, and it was hard to pose. It was too, it was a very bulky material, and then I think it was like single bend elbows and all that stuff. So it was really hard to work with. And some people felt that maybe it wasn't even the the body wasn't big enough or what have you. Um, that did have the black undershirt long sleeve accessory. This one doesn't, I'm pretty sure. Um, and that was the attire he was wearing when he was fighting Batman in the final battle. So it doesn't have that accessory, but from what I've heard and what I can tell, this figure is vastly superior to 1.0. So pretty excited to get this one open and get posed and see what we got. A little something, I might as well talk about it too. Um, the Dark Knight Rises, incidentally, to me, although I'm willing to acknowledge it's not the best movie of the Nolan verse, it's still, to me, like, I can argue for it being my favorite since it's based on the comic book series that I actually am a huge fan of, and obviously I'm referring to Nightfall. So over here in the cover, you see the how Bane looks in the comics, and they are completely different. Aside from them wearing a mask, the and that's the scene where Bane breaks the Batman. Um, so while this depiction isn't exactly accurate to the comic, I can appreciate the more grounded take of the Nolan verse. There's no venom or anything like that. It's just brute strength. But anyway, what I was saying is why The Dark Knight Rises is one of my favorites is because there are so many callbacks to Nightfall. Even the way Bane beats Batman the first time, Batman had a lot going on. Alfred left. He lost all his money. Um, he was retired, and the night before, or not even the night before, but or like right before he went to face off against Bane, he had an intimate encounter with Miranda Tate, and you know Batman was completely off his game, which is why he lost in resounding fashion. And that's a call to how that actually happened in the comics, because Bane is a mastermind, and he set up, you know, there was a breakout at Gotham, and Batman was facing off against villains one after another. And by the time he faced off against Bane, he was completely exhausted, and Bane took advantage and broke him. And then the way they fixed him, the instead of using the Lazarus pit in the movie, they had that prison, so it was their more grounded version of a pit. and Bruce had to climb out of it to heal his back, and obviously there was the doctor that punched his vertebrae back in and all that. So yeah, I mean, I could really appreciate why the all the callbacks that the Dark Knight Rises did, which is why it is one of my favorites, and thus this is the first one I'm reviewing of, you know. I know I did the Modern to Batman one, but that was more of like an unboxing in general everything, nothing like this, which I will be redoing that one too, but that's I digress. I'm gonna start it off with Bane, and then after that, we'll see who we move on to. But my next few videos will more than likely be all DC figures, and yeah, I was doing all the other franchises, and the time is right. Batman is my favorite, and it's time to start exploring their figures on video. So I'm gonna get this unboxed, and we'll see what we got. But for now, standard box. Let's remove the sleeve. Let's see what we got. That already looks amazing. So there's no joints on there, and box feels nice. That's an awesome art of the figure. So yeah, let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at the figure. All right, so here is the figure out of the packaging, and I mean, right off the bat, this thing is incredible. The material of the body is a lot softer, so I believe it's all medical grade silicone or something. Yeah, I'm blown away how much better this is compared to the other one. Um, it also has movable eyes and all that. So this thing looks fantastic. uh, so moving on, and before we fully explore and pose the figures, here's the other stuff he comes with. You get 6 additional hands, another sleeve for the other hand. The broken cowl that you get, this also came with the original one. There you go. Really cool. Okay, so that's better. When he repeatedly punched Batman in the face. So there you get a wide array of hands here. It's gonna be nice to pose him. More than likely, I'll probably be posing him with the current attire. I don't think I'll be putting him with the jacket. But let's go ahead and take that out so we can see what it looks like. The jacket. So there's 2. There's the one with the fur around it, and this one. If I'm gonna pose him wearing an attire, it would be this one, so that we can do the one where he's grabbing, the pose where he's grabbing the collars of his jacket, and because that's a cool pose, very intimidating. Honestly, now that I really think about it, I may pose him that way. He does come with this cool stand, which is a lot different than the 1.0 came with, and it's also a lot more heftier. The 1.0, the stand was, it's just this, the great kind of thing, but this one has a backdrop and everything. Let me go ahead and assemble that and I'll cut to it. All right, so here is the base, the stand that you get, and this thing is massive. It's actually taller than what I have. Let me see. Let's take this away. There we go. So that captures the whole thing. So yeah, this is obviously the great scene, or not the great scene, but the fight scene. Um, Sorry, I'm just messing with this thing. I'm trying to see if I can grab the collar. It doesn't look like he can. The elbow doesn't bend far enough for him to be grabbing his collar. But nonetheless, this thing is phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Let's raise this up. All right, there we go. Oh man, that looks really cool. That stand is really nice. I believe the Selena Kyle 2.0 comes with the same stand. Um, yeah, this is the rusting on the stand looks really cool. The details, is really nice. I would, if it extended a little bit more, then you could have a walkway. Although I guess if you lay this down flat, it could look like could look like the walkway, and you can have Batman fighting Bane. But yeah, that's really cool. Now I'm thinking if I want to pose him in one of these, it's just too bad he can't actually grab. His arms don't bend all the way up to for him so that he can grab the shoulder pads kind of deal. Maybe it'll look different if he's wearing the jacket, since he doesn't have to reach as far all the way in. So maybe we'll give it a shot. Um, yeah, I think when I do the shorts to pose him, to pose him next to Batman or whatever, I'm gonna pose him without the jacket. But I think as a stoic singular figure, I think I want to pose him with a jacket on. But although this, it's so nice. Yeah, this is incredible. Um, there's scarring on his head, the vein work on the body. There's that scar in the back. Looks like stretch marks there. Yeah, this figure is really nice. So, yeah, I think it's time to pose him and figure out what pose we're going to put him in and go from there and give him his grades. Yeah, I'm actually, it's hard to put thoughts together. It's just the figures doing it all. I mean, it's really nice. It's a wonderful job. It's so different from the 1.01. Um, he doesn't have the short sleeve one that goes underneath his armor, but I'm guessing this this thing doesn't come off, which is the reason for not including that. But yeah, um, let us go ahead and change the pose and see what we can go. See what we can get. All right, this one, nothing too complicated. I just swapped out the left hand and placed the broken cowl in his hand and with his back turned. Um, Similar to what happened in the movie after he ripped off the mask, he was walking away and then he drops it. So just wanted to see what that looked like. Um, yeah, it's obviously if you have them on your back turned, then you're hiding a lot of stuff on the table. So then if you do them this way, it's really interesting. He's just add one accessory and he looks even more menacing because he just did something. So similar to the Hano Studios Wolverine, you bend the arm, the biceps kind of build up. This is how that figure feels. Honestly, the feels like the Hano Studios Wolverine. The body does, and it's really well done. So, but anyway, let's change out the pose and see what we come up next. All right, so switched out this hand. I do think that hand is the one where he put his hand on the neck of Daggett, asking him if he feels in charge. And I also have the not articulated, but posed hand. Looks like he's ready to grab something or just yeah. Um, so yeah, it is a cool pose and all that. The figure looks nice and everything, but I am starting to lean towards putting the jacket on him. I feel like without without a jacket or anything, I would want to put him in a dynamic pose or like a fighting type of pose. What I'm trying to say is this look would only look good in like if it's posed with a companion piece, like against Batman or any other any other 6 scale figure that you have that you want to put on the mercy of Bane. Um, so any museum type pose, I feel like he's missing something. So I think I'm gonna put him with the not the is that the bomber jacket? I think I'm gonna put him with the trench coat, the one he was wearing for the football scene. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. So I'm gonna put that on, pose him with that, and I think maybe switch out the hands. Um, Speaking of switching out the hands, the left one or the right one, I should say, is a little more difficult. you have to unstrap all the, you have to unstrap the Velcro, unhook all the buckles, put the thumb in, and all that. Um, it's not hard, but it's Velcro. You're not gonna want to mess with that, take it on and off repeatedly. This is a nice jacket. The weathering is nice and all that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put him on with the jacket and go from there. Okay. All right. So I know in the video this is like quick cut, but I'm actually having a hard time finding a pose I like for this guy. To tell you the truth, it's been a struggle. It's hard to work with the figure articulation wise. He is hefty, and as far as like bending things, his legs are stiff. There's not much you can do with the ab crunch, and yeah, this is a tough figure to work with. A lot of the work to make this figure look good is gonna come down to just the high quality of the figure itself. It's a great looking figure. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it. Don't. It's a fantastic looking figure, but it is gonna be hard to find a good pose that I like without a companion piece. It's just one of those things. Unless it's like doing a short or an action pose or anything like that, it's going to be hard to pose this thing. But yeah, I mean, this a lot of what makes this figure good is it's the presence of it all. The mask looks good. The body, when the coat's not wearing it, everything. It is an improvement over the first one, and yeah. So as for this pose, it's pretty much when he's talking to the people in the stands, the football game, and he's looking up into the stands and trying to address everyone on what's going to happen to Gotham and all that. So, yeah. So yeah, it's tough to find a pose that I like, but I had him in a fighting stance, like kind of like with arms open and animalistic looking. I think if I'm going to do that stance, then I'm going to have to remove the jacket, which that's not something I want to do right now. So for now, this will be the pose I'll be leaving him in. And when I, finish reviewing and going over my other DC figures, there's actually one that I just picked up on Friday, which is yesterday. That's going to be a perfect companion piece for this one. I'm sure you can guess on which one it is, but I guess you're just going to have to keep guessing on which release it is. So anyway, as far as grading the figure, as far as the look, it's a 10 out of 10. The likeness, everything, it's perfect to the movie version of it. As far as the comic book version, it looks nothing like him. It functions nothing like him. There's no venom or anything, but that's not the take that the Nolan verse is going for. It was going for a grounded version of Bane, which this one succeeds in doing that. Accessories, Um, Probably an 8. The It would have been nice to have a detonator. Um, Maybe a microphone. If InArt made this one, I bet it would include the letter of Gordon, his confession, the one that he read in front of Blackgate Prison. So it's just an 8 because I feel like those something like as little as that would have been nice. It would have been nice to pose him, holding the note and talking to everyone about reading the confession out loud. The whole talk about the corrupt, you know, that was also a big scene in the movie, and that would have been nice to pose it like that. As far as fun factor, I will confess I am not having a good time with this figure at all. Um, a lot of it is just the look. Maybe it'll be more fun posing it next to another figure. But as a standalone, it's pretty basic. There's not much I can do with it. Maybe someone better than me will have it in a different pose, or someone braver than me. I don't know. Maybe I'm scared of breaking the figure. Um, Maybe I'll look online and for some ideas. So, and as always, if you have any ideas of your own, you can always let me know, and I'll try that pose out. Um, so as far as overall, um, again, to me, a lot of this figure is getting carried by the look of it and the quality of it. So overall, I think I'll give it an 8. Um, I know a lot of people have this as their like the figure of the year of 2003 of 2004, whenever 2024, whatever it is. This figure came out, and I mean, looks wise, it's there, but I don't know. I think it's one of those museum figures, which it's fine. If you're okay with that, then as I always preach, you collect. Enjoy what you collect and collect what you enjoy. And this one mainly I collected because I am a huge fan of Bane, you know, and it would be nice to pose it next to my other rogues that I have, um, the other villains, and I will do just that. So, anyway, thank you for watching this one. Let me know any suggestions that you have, posing wise, and as always, thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming, both Legos and 1/6 scale stuff. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your Sunday. I hope you have if I don't post another video, I hope you enjoy your work week. If not, I'll talk to you on the next video. Thank you.